Hop on the Chat Nook, choo choo. Hop on the Chat Nook, choo. On the Chat Nook, choo choo. Hop on the Chat. Hop on the Chat Nook, choo choo. Hop on the Chat Nook, hop on the Chat Nook, choo choo. Hop on the Chat Nook, choo. Hop on the Chat Nook, choo choo. Hop on the Chat. Hop on the Chat.
Hello, everybody. How are you doing today? It is March 15th, 2026. I am Christine Deaton, and we are here today on the Chat Nook to chat. Oh my goodness, can you imagine? We're going to chat today. We're going to chat about a whole bunch of different things. I want to go through a few things first, and then we'll get into what I want to talk about. First of all, I hope everybody's out there is doing well. We appreciate you coming on and seeing what we're talking about, what we're chatting about. And I would like you to tell your friends about our show. That would be so fabulous. We've had tons of people viewing this show, which is really, really awesome. And we appreciate every single one of you that come on to hear what I have to say. I like to chat. I like to talk. I like to see what's happening in the world and all that stuff and just discuss things with you. So before we start, again, I want to welcome everybody to the Chat Nook. And don't forget, please don't forget to like and subscribe, okay? So you can like and subscribe to the Facebook channel. You can also, later on, Chris edits the show and it goes to our YouTube channel, which is the Chat Nook on YouTube, and we'd like you to like and subscribe that also. The other thing that I want to say before we get into anything is that it's a disclaimer that I'm just talking to you about things. And even though a lot of the things that I'm going to talk to you about are facts or news and things like that, bottom line is it's all my opinion. It's what I think. And so, take that as it may, that it's just what I'm thinking, and these are my thoughts and stuff. So, but I definitely want to hear from you. I want you to tell me what you're thinking, what your thoughts are, and everything on everything that we talk about. The other thing is that I want to bring up real quick is that what do you want to talk about? That's what this whole thing was about. It's a Chat Nook. What do you want to talk about? Is there something going on in your life that you just need to talk about? With as much viewers as we have coming into the show every week, if you've got something going on and you really don't know what to do, or you need some advice, or you just need to vent, this is a great forum for that. And then, of course, somebody might hear you, or I might have some insight to something, and we can kind of help you through whatever it is. So don't forget to tell us, what do you want to talk about? And then I can actually incorporate that into the next show, okay? That's really important, and that means a lot to me if you would tell me what you want to talk about, chat about. Now, we're noticing that when we are doing the show that we're not seeing a lot of the comments. Hello, Alicia, I see you out there. We're not seeing a lot of the comments for some reason. So what I would suggest is put the comments in, because what's happening is after the show, when we're editing for the YouTube channel, because that's got to be done a little differently than the Facebook Live, we're seeing the comments, okay? So we don't want to wait until then to see the comments, and we're trying to figure out why we're not seeing some people come up immediately and others are not coming up, and then we see them after. So we're trying to figure out what the problem is. Don't stop doing that, though. Don't stop writing and talking and stuff like that. We will get this figured out. Okay. During the shows, I've noticed, and I explained this to you guys, but I want to do it again. I fidget a lot. I'm always moving. I'm always moving. That is part of my Meniere's disease. Without an equilibrium, I'm constantly having to readjust and shift and everything. So all of the movement that you're seeing is part of my disease, and there's nothing I can do about that. So I hope you guys aren't thinking, what's wrong with this woman? Why can't she sit still? I really can't sit still. So it's very hard for me. So just please bear that in mind as you watch the show and listen to what I have to say. Okay, let's go to the Chat Nook today and the things that we're going to talk about. So the news right now is dominated by the war in Iran. Now, another war, okay? It's just a horrible thing when we go to war for any reason, when any country goes to war for some reason. So now you've got casualties. You know, there was a plane that was getting fuel in the air, and all 6 of the people on that flight died. So, you know, you've got casualties, you've got innocent people on the ground getting killed, and there's so much to war, and it affects so many people, so many innocent people, some people doing their job, you know, Air Force, all the military people. And it's very sad. How does that affect us, like right now? Go get some gas in your car, and you're going to see immediately the effect that this kind of war has on the American people. Boom, like that. So, like a week ago, our gas here in Missouri was like $2.19. This week, $3.19. Just a little while ago, we were talking to my brother who's in California. Their gas, guys, is $5.69 a gallon. Okay? This is when wartime, this is one of the ways that this affects us directly. And that is just, you know, that hurts when if you're on a really tight budget and it's a matter of eating or, you know, putting gas in your car, you got to make a choice. I mean, there are many Americans that have to live that way. And then here we are. Hi, Terry. One of my best buddies from Brooklyn, New York. I love seeing you on there, Teresa. Thank you so much. And apparently we weren't getting a bunch of your comments. We saw them later on, so I'm hoping to get that resolved. Anyway, this is how this Iranian conflict is affecting us immediately. And, you know, where's that going to go? How high is it going to go? You know, I remember the last time we had war with a country with oil, the California was, some of them were as high as 10, 11 bucks a gallon. And we were in Arizona at that time, and it was about $5 a gallon. I mean, in Arizona, gas is usually pretty cheap, and I remember it going very, very, very high. So this is how, even though we're not there and doing the fighting, we suffer part of this conflict because we are having to pay such high prices. So what are you going to do? You know, you hope that the war, that the world just, wouldn't it be wonderful if you just wake up and there's no more conflicts in the world? But unfortunately, that's not the way it is. And this is how we're being affected. Don't be surprised if the gas prices just, you know, skyrocket, because they're already headed that way, and very, very, very quickly. So that's my take on the Iranian war. And of course, we've lost valuable, wonderful military people who are just doing their job, and they're gone. 6 of them. I mean, how sad is that? So, moving on to my second topic for today. You know, I've been watching the Nancy Guthrie case from the very, very beginning. And that started January 31st through the night to February 1st. Nancy Guthrie, 84 years old, was taken out of her home. They know that she was actually taken out of her bedroom and gone, disappeared. Okay, so this is the mom of Savannah Guthrie, who's one of the hosts of the Today Show. Okay, and so there's no answers. There's no answers. They have leads, this lead, that, and they all come to a dead end. And so where's Nancy? We don't know. But one of the things, a couple of things that I wanted to bring up that happened, that I heard recently. The first one is that they know that at about 1:20 something in the morning, Nancy was on a pacemaker thing, I think maybe an Apple Watch or some kind of digital something or other that monitored her heart. She had medical problems. She had a lot of medical problems. And they know that at around 1:20 something in the morning, there was some kind of major episode that they recorded for her heart. So, Teresa, you're obsessed with the Nancy Guthrie case. It is, I'm telling you, so am I, and I think it's because we all, what if it was our moms? What if it was our dad, our cousin, or whoever? How do you live through something like this? And the unknown is just, it's unbearable. It's unbearable. And I relate that to my mom being so sick right now and watching what she's going through, but I still have my mother. They just don't know. But here's what I'm thinking. And again, disclaimer, this is just me talking. When whatever that was that happened on her heart monitor, and they know that, they see that, I think, me thinking, that she had a massive heart attack and probably passed right there because she was so frightened, like frightened to death kind of a thing. And, there's a huge part of me that says, I hope so. Because they do. They need closure, absolutely. Because how horrible for Nancy to be an 84-year-old woman in the midst of this craziness, some man in your bedroom in the middle of the night. I mean, that had to have been frightening, and literally did it scare Nancy to death. Like I said, I kind of hope that that's what happened, just so that from that moment on she didn't suffer. We don't know what happened to her. The family doesn't know what happened to her. There's no closure in the family, as my friend Teresa said. They need closure. So you guys out there who know something, just tell them. Tell them so that they can get on with their lives, because it's stifled for them. And how horrible is this? The other thing that I wanted to bring up is that Savannah Guthrie is looking into suing Ashley Banfield. And so Ashley Banfield is one of my go-to reporters because she's very reputable. She's been in the business a long time. And because she's been in the business for such a long time, she has sources. And she'll always say, she never says who they are. And really and truly, by law, which I'm finding out, you do not have to reveal, as a reporter, you do not have to reveal your sources, okay? So she says on her show, she has a podcast called Drop Dead Serious. It's a podcast, a great podcast. And I watch her probably every day. And she has mentioned that the son-in-law, Tommaso, what's his last name? Starts with a C. I should have looked that up. Anyway, it's Annie's husband, Tommaso, that he was a suspect, which he was. I mean, let's face it, he was. Anybody in that nucleus, the family, they're all suspects in something like this. You have to, that you start in the middle, and then you work your way up in the investigation. He was a suspect. They did take Annie's car. They still have her car. And the family now is very offended by Ashley Banfield saying that Tommaso is a suspect or was a suspect. I don't understand what they're thinking, and of course this is probably coming from grief and anger and just all these, all these emotions that they're going through. And right, he was, Tommaso, right, Teresa, he was the last one to be with Nancy, Tommaso. He dropped her off at her home that night. So, of course he's going to be a suspect. So why are they so angry at Ashley Banfield saying that Tommaso was a suspect? He was. I don't understand. So that Ashley Banfield had Mark Garagos. Now Mark Garagos is this world famous attorney. I mean, he has, okay, let's see. The people that he has, defended in the past were like, Michael Jackson, Nicole Richie, Winona Ryder, Chris Brown, Sean Diddy Combs, Scott Peterson, all these main, big, gigantic stories. Mark Garagos was the defense attorney. And he said to Ashley, the family can try to sue Ashley Banfield for saying this, but they have no case. And they really, I can't even imagine. Like I said, it's probably just all coming from grief. But what are they suing for? That he was a suspect. So I'm really puzzled, unless, of course, what do we know? We don't know all the details. But Ashley did, on one of her shows recently, she did go through what the family's angry at, and she talked to Mark Garagos, and there was another guest on the show, I can't remember, Matt, his name is Matt something, and they both said, they can try to do something about this, but they just don't have a case. They just don't have a case. And I can tell you that with Ashley Banfield, like I said, I just love her work. And most of the time, what she says, she'll say, see, didn't I tell you like 2 weeks ago I said this? She's very good. She's very reputable. So maybe, there's something else going on that we just don't know. But they're kind of after Ashley Banfield right now. So I'm curious to see how that all pans out. The other thing that I want to bring up is, like, when Nancy Guthrie case first started, maybe defamation of character. Yeah, it could be. It's just like, but she didn't say anything that everybody watching this story from day one hasn't said. This guy's a suspect. He was the last person to physically be with Nancy. Of course you're going to consider him a suspect. I don't understand. But from the beginning of this case, Sheriff Chris Nanos, who's the Pima County Sheriff, at first I thought, oh, this guy's on it. He's good. And then by about day 3, day 4, you're going, what's wrong with him? What is wrong with him? You allow people back into a crime scene? He did so many things that were like, I'm not a sheriff and I don't know the laws, but I don't think you're supposed to do that. It was just bizarre stuff. So now he has this revelation. You want to hear the revelation? Nancy was targeted. You think? That's not rocket science. She's got a very famous daughter. The family has money. Of course she was targeted. She wasn't just, picked out at Walmart one day. What? You guys, what's wrong with him? And then he makes it very difficult. I shouldn't say he cut off. He makes it very difficult for people, for reporters, to go near the house. He makes it so that they have to walk like 3 miles with all of their stuff and everything because he doesn't want any more cameras and everything. I'm like, that's what's going to keep this case alive. That's what's going to keep people looking and wondering and caring. But this guy's got, I don't know. I saw a thing, you know, and you never know what's on when you read stuff on Facebook or whatever. That he's, you know, he's saying that he's stepping down, that he's, you know, he's had enough, and who knows? I wish he would, but that to me would be very cowardice in this part of the investigation. I think for him to back out now, so I hope that was wrong. That I really think that would be a huge mistake. And Teresa's saying, I'm truly hoping they know much more than they're telling us. Exactly. But why are you holding back? Why are you not telling people some kind of update? Just before I went on today, there was a breaking news from the New York Times. Let me see if I can find it again. And it said that they found a body in New York in the water. Is that what it said, Chris? It was in the water, I think. And they think it was Nancy Guthrie. But you know,
it was
it's like
it was either in the water or along a canal somewhere.
Something like that. That they found a body that they think is Nancy Guthrie. But you know, I'm not even going to go there until, you know.
Yeah, if it's the same story
right.
that I read, it was already determined. Excuse me, that it was a body of a younger woman.
Okay, so it probably wasn't her. So anyway, we're going to move on from the Nancy Guthrie case. I just pray for these people, for the family. I just think that, you know, it's such a, I can't even imagine anything like this, especially an 84-year-old, your mom. I mean, it doesn't, for children to get kidnapped, and an 84-year-old lady, those kinds of kidnappings are just so tragic, so tragic, that your heart just goes out to these people. So again, you know, keep them in your thoughts and prayers. And even though Nanos is wanting this to be by the wayside, and there's so many other things in the news right now with war and everything, let's not forget this case, because this case is not solved. And unfortunately, I think it's going to be a really, really long time before it is solved. Hey, you know, guys, I'm looking out my what do you call them, patio door windows, whatever they're called. And we right before we went on, also we had a tornado warning, and I'm watching out here thinking, luckily we have a tornado shelter right outside our door. So, you know, if I run in a little while, you're going to know why, because I'm watching that weather and that windmill thing that I have, and it's really starting to go crazy. So, you know, just in case I have to shut this down quick, you're going to know why. All right, let's move on. A gunman at Old Dominion University in Norfolk, Virginia, okay? Now, here's the thing, okay? The shooter, let me just, you know, this is just insanity. The shooter was previously convicted of Islamic State ties, okay? He was released from prison early in 2024 after he was supposed to serve 2 years more than he did. But he was released because he completed a drug rehabilitation treatment program. So they let him out 2 years early. Okay? Good job. His name is Mohammed Baylor Yut. It's like Jalloh. Jalloh. Now, he was initially sentenced to 11 years. Okay? For this guy, I mean, honestly, pleaded guilty in 2017 to providing material support to a designated foreign terrorist organization. So let's let him out early. Why don't we? Okay? What are you saying about Irish soda bread? You did? How'd it come out? Yay! She made my soda bread. Woohoo!
I know you wanted to talk about that
I'm
stuff
going to
later
talk about
on,
that
but
a little bit, yeah. Okay, so they let this guy out 2 years early, you know, whatever. And so, yeah, I said, yeah, let's let him out, was one of my comments. So he was a former Virginia Army National Guard member, okay? Now, last week, or whenever it was, I think it was last week, the 27th, or no, I don't know. Let me see what date it was. Anyway, it was last week, on the 12th, actually, this week. He killed one person and injured two. And then some ROT students subdued him and killed him. I'm sure that by them doing that, they cut his killing spree off. I'm sure that killing one and injuring two is not what he was planning to do. He planned to do a lot more damage. But he was stopped by ROT students. So God bless them. So this POS was on probation from his prison term. And he goes to this ROT, I don't know if Old Dominion is the ROT school or not. I don't know much about Old Dominion. Bye, honey, my grandson's going home. Anyway, he goes back to the school, and what does he do? He shoots and kills, okay, the person he killed was an Army Lieutenant Colonel Brandon Shaw, who led the ROTC program at Old Dominion from 2022. Lieutenant Colonel Shaw enlisted in 2003 and received his Army commission in 2007 after graduating from Old Dominion University. And then, of course, we know that he went into, you know, he's a big shot in the ROT. He runs the ROTC program, and now he's gone. He's gone. So it has a program. Okay, all right. So it has an ROTC program. So, I mean, you've got somebody who is already a very troubled human being. You let him out of jail early, and he winds up killing. And like I said, those ROTC students, I have students, but originally I heard that it was a student, but it could have been more than one student who got him and killed him. There's no question in my mind that this evil person, this clown, had the intention of killing a lot of people. So, but he did injure two other people. I mean, he had already done a lot of damage before he was stopped. Hello, Susan. How are you? Thank you for joining me today. We're so glad to have you on the Chat Nook. I'm Christine Deaton, and I love to chat. So join us. And like and subscribe, everybody. Please like and subscribe. So, that's one thing that makes me wonder about our country in general. Why are we letting people out that we know have problems? Why are we putting them in the general public when we know that they've got a history and they're not well? Why are we putting them out so that they can hurt more and more and more? I don't understand. Somebody make me understand. So I feel that whoever let him out, whoever made the big fat decision that this guy's good, let him go, shame on you, and this is your fault. So there you go. That's that. Then we have another story. It's kind of like a Nancy Guthrie story, except that this one is even crazier because now we have a retired Air Force Major General. Major General. His name is William Neal McCaslin, 68-year-old guy, right? I mean, his accomplishments in his life are, he literally could write a very big fat book on all the things that this man has done in his career, okay? So he goes out on February 27th, and he is seen talking to his let's see, what was it? He's got like a maintenance guy around his house around 10 a.m. Okay, so in the morning he's out. The last interaction that they know of was at 10 a.m. on February 27th with a handyman around the house, and all of a sudden, Major General McCaslin is missing. Poof, gone, vanished. Now, he didn't take things with him. He didn't take his cell phone, and he didn't take, there were things that if you're out and about, you know, you pick the normal things, your keys, your phone, you know, whatever. Even if you're going to take a walk, you take your very bare necessities, but most people don't even leave to throw their trash out without a phone in their hand. And you know what? In this day and age, that's a safety thing. I don't care where you go anymore. Have your phone with you because you never know. Anyway, what they do find missing is hiking boots, his wallet, and a .38 caliber revolver. About a mile down the road from him, they find his sweatshirt. Okay? They don't know where he is. Now we're days. 2 weeks, whatever it is. He's gone. So, Major General McCaslin is a former head of research of the Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. Now, this particular Air Force Base is the site of frequently associated with conspiracy theories regarding UFOs. Now, he is supposed to be like the top man who knows everything about UFOs and if there really are, and all this stuff. This is the guy that has been in charge of this for many, many years, and he's supposed to know all of this information about UFOs. Okay? And he's gone. So you know how people are, right? They say maybe a UFO got him. Ha 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 ha. Except I don't think this is funny. I want to know what the heck is going on. How come people they're just gone? This man, when they were going over, I was watching a program the other day about this Major General, William Neal McCaslin, 68 years old. In his 68 years, the accomplishments that this man has is absolutely unbelievable. Unbelievable. The more they said about him, I'm like, somebody wants him. Some major underworld something. They want him because this man has so much knowledge that the rest of the world, even a lot of the government people, they don't know the stuff that this man knows. And so you wonder, this wasn't, again, this is a targeted thing, okay? Nobody knows where he is. Somebody knows where he is. But the general public, the news, nobody knows where he is. So it'll be, and obviously we hope he's okay, but he has so much knowledge that he is a valuable source of anybody who is trying to, learn about other worlds or learn about. All I'm telling you guys is I want you to read up on him, and you're not going to believe what this man has done, how much he's accomplished, and how much he knows. Like this man, and the general public, I never even heard of him. You know what I mean? But military knows of him. World governments know about him. And people that are in the business of UFOs, and they know about him. He is a very famous, very knowledgeable, very scary man because he's got information that nobody else has. So, you pray for Major General McCaslin because I don't know what's happening to him. And it's just one of those things that just puzzle your brain, like Nancy Guthrie, like, I don't know. I don't understand. Sometimes this world is just becomes such a scary place. And I say that literally anymore, if you walk out your door, have a phone, have 2 phones, have 5 phones, just because it's such an unsafe place. It's just a scary world, unsafe place. And you just wonder, look, I'm 66 years old, if I have 20 more years on this earth, that'd be great. I'd love it. But my grandchildren and then their grandchildren, and then like, what in the world is this world, their life, going to be? And that's what I worry about, the future of my family, your family, our families, kids today that are just, they get up every morning and they go to school and they learn what they have to, and at the same time, the world around them is an absolutely insane place. Stuff that, I said it last week on the show, there's so much stuff today that honestly 25 years ago when my kids were in school, you didn't have to think about these things. You didn't have to worry about these things. And now today you just have to worry about going to the grocery store. Some screwball is not going to be there trying to take your kid. I mean, it's just an insane place. Let me see what Teresa's saying. Absolutely. I've even told my kids, whoever, you go to the bathroom, take your phone with you. I don't care where you go anymore. Don't go anywhere without a phone. Don't go anywhere without that connection to the world, because I mean, I don't understand. All right. So let's see, what time is it? We're gonna talk about a few more things. My books. Okay, so recently, so I'll talk about my websites and all my stuff. So on you guys know that I have a whole cooking channel on YouTube, right? And I'm talking about this today because of 2 holidays coming up, okay? So it's called My Cooking Nook. I started the channel in 2020 during COVID. I just thought it was when nobody was allowed to leave their homes. And I thought, we need something fun and lighter and stuff like that. My family full of cooks, like great cooks. Oh, I see the lightning now. Here it comes. And so I learned a lot growing, and the thunder. There it is. I don't know if you guys can hear that out there, but we've got some major thunder going on now. So I learned a lot about food and cooking, and then my family, my mom and dad owned a restaurant. It's just a little mom and pop kind of a restaurant in Arizona, and my sister owned a restaurant. And so we've always had, food was like a big part of our lives, our culture, the Italian people, always food, and everything's surrounded by food. Every occasion is like, it's a banquet. And so I thought, what would be really fun during COVID? I said, let me just start a cooking show, an online cooking show. And of course, and I've said this before, I didn't think anybody would watch, anybody would care, and the show took off. It was kind of crazy. It shocked me. It absolutely shocked me. And I can't even tell, people from all over the world literally watching my show. So 3 cookbooks later, 1, 2, and 3, the whole premise of my cooking is fast, easy, and delicious. Fed up, okay? And I put that because of my Meniere's disease, pretty much everything that I do, I have to do kind of sped up, So everything's fast. If I'm in the kitchen, I'm going to make great food, but it's going to be very fast. And I thought, this could help millions of people in the kitchen to make something that normally takes a really long time and a lot of ingredients. I can get that same recipe to about 4 or 5 ingredients in a fraction of the time. Most of these recipes, from start to finish, and here comes the rain. Ooh, wow. Here it comes, guys. Most of my recipes you can probably cook from start to finish in about 20 minutes, maybe less. And so I have sold tons of cookbooks, and it's been really something. So now, with the holidays coming up, so in 2 days it's St. Patrick's Day. So I wanted to tell you that if you go to my Cooking Nook, and it's episode number 71. I have about 80 something episodes, okay? Episode number 71 is about St. Patrick's Day. And it's a great show, and I make a corned beef and cabbage casserole, and I make green Irish soda bread. Yes, I will, Teresa, thank you. And my friend Teresa, who's online with us right now, said she just made my Irish soda bread. And it's such a great recipe. And there again, something that would take a long time to make. Even my soda bread's quick. And it's very, very delicious. And so watch the episode if you're looking for something to do and like shortcuts to a big, giant corned beef and cabbage meal. Man, I got you covered. And I can make that whole meal, a big, giant St. Patrick's Day meal, in probably from start to finish about 30 minutes, maybe, for the whole holiday meal. Watch episode number 71. And then coming up soon is Easter, and eating the Irish soda bread right now. Oh, yay! And she says it's delicious. I love that. I love that. Thanks, Teresa. We appreciate that. And then we've got Easter coming up. So I have 2 episodes that I want you to watch for Easter meals and Easter dessert. And I have Easter nest cookies, which are the prettiest little cookies. And they're so delicious. And it's got like coconut, like colored coconut on top. And you put jelly beans in the middle. It's just a perfect Easter cookie. That's episode number 57. And then my Easter meal, the entire meal, you won't believe how quick and easy, fast, easy, and delicious that is. And most of my meals are budget friendly. I think all of them are budget friendly, okay? And on the one episode, I have ham steaks, I have a California salad, I have Easter egg bread. I mean, it's a great holiday show. And so you can do holidays like that. One of my episodes coming up, not till Thanksgiving, but I literally did Thanksgiving meal for 6 people for $29. See what I'm saying? You gotta watch my show. And when you go watch my show, My Cooking Nook, watch the videos, like and subscribe. Okay? Okay, what else do I want to talk about here? So I'm going to do well, yesterday we had a discussion in my family, and my sister-in-law, since my mom was put into hospice, we've had a lot of relatives coming from all over the country to see her. And we had a discussion yesterday with is this a tornado? Look at that weather. It's kind of looking a little tornado-ish, people. I'm looking out my door right now going,
We're good.
Okay, we're good. Anyway, we had this discussion yesterday with my sister-in-law, and her mom came to see my mom. And we were talking about things, and like my sister-in-law was like, and I don't want my mom to do this, and I don't want her to, and I'm like, and we do that as daughters, as sons, because we're trying to protect our loved ones. We think we're protecting them. And at the same time, what that's doing, and this is for anybody who's out there who, not that so much that you're a caretaker, but you're caring for your parents. I think this is important, that just because our parents are getting older, we have to keep in mind that they're still able to do what they want to do. They still are able to decide on their own and make their own decisions. And we have to kind of let go. And so, and my sister-in-law said to me, you need to put this on your podcast today because you really helped us a lot yesterday because we talked about this. And I said, here's the thing, and this is for everybody out there. The only person that we are responsible for is, look, I'm responsible for me. You're responsible for you. Now, that doesn't mean we don't care about others. We don't take care of others. We don't, help in any way we can. We don't stop loving them. But what it does mean is that we are responsible for what we do, what we say, how we feel. This is the person that we're responsible for. And even though sometimes we want to be like a marionette and do this so that people move the way we want and stuff, we can't do that. And we don't have a right to do that. And my sister-in-law said, you're absolutely right. And you need to say that on your podcast today. So I'm just sharing that with you because I didn't think, in our conversation, I didn't think that would be, something that would like truly stick with them, but it did. And it just makes sense. And the older I get, like when you're raising children, you have to be in charge. And you have to say, no, you don't do that. Yes, you do that. No, you're not allowed to do that. No, you didn't earn that. We have to do that because as parents, that's our job. Once our children are adults and once our parents are, 20 years, 25 years older than us, we have to really draw a line. And the line is, I'm not in control of your life as much as, we may not agree. I said, I love Abraham Lincoln's, we're not enemies, we're opponents. And that makes all the sense in the world to me. That you can oppose somebody's thoughts and views, but in the end, they are allowed to live their life the way they want to. And I feel very, very strongly about that. And I think maybe all of us should take that to heart. That we're only responsible for what we do, what we say, what we think, how we feel, and nobody else. If they ask our opinion, by all means. But I always preface too, don't ask me if you don't really want to know what I have to say. Okay? I do say that a lot. And I mean that, because if you ask me a question, I'm going to tell you what I feel. If you don't want to know, don't ask me. But bottom line is, we're just responsible for ourselves. And take that to heart, everybody. Please take that to heart, because my sister-in-law and her mom did, and it seemed to have really struck a chord with them, and she said, you have to talk about that today. So that's why I'm chatting with you about that. Okay, the other book that I've written is Kisses in the Snow. It's a very short story, but it's a very poignant book, and it's based on my sister adopted 5 children. 4 of them were from the same mom, and they were like 1, 2, 3, and 4 ages. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Tiny babies. It was a very tragic beginning to their lives. And I connected with the older boy at that time, and he was only 4. And he was this beautiful, smart, just this amazing little boy who just made an impact on me. And I thought, what is this boy going to become? So I wrote this book, and it's called Kisses in the Snow. And that's kind of, if you can see, that kind of looks like the little boy. And he had little curly hair and just a really handsome little guy. And so I wrote this book, and it kind of represents all children in the foster care system. He represents. So when I talk about him in the book, it's just about children in that who start their life that way. And the book has meant a lot to me. And this little boy now is 21 now. and I don't know. I think his life could be better, but he has survived a lot. And you just wonder if he'd have had a better start, what he would have become, because he's had issues, but it's like, it's no wonder. So anyway, that's what this book is about, Kisses in the Snow, and you'll just have to read it. And if you want any of my books, just what do you call that? Private message me on the Chat Nook. Okay, anything else that we need to talk about today? If not, I have a quote for you. And the quote is, no matter how many mistakes you make or how slow you progress, you are still ahead of everyone who isn't trying. I like it. So, again, no matter how many mistakes you've made or how slow you progress, you are still ahead of anyone who isn't trying. And that makes perfect sense to me. So, try every day, whatever it is. I mean, in my own life, I try every day to do life as best I can with, in the last year or so, I've become, bogged down by illness and a lot of things going on. But it's like, everybody has stuff. It doesn't matter. You wake up and you do the day and you do it well. And that's what I wish for all of you, that your days are beautiful days. You live them to the fullest, because you never know when there's not going to be that next day. And so, you guys, I hope you stay safe out there right now. We're having some kind of a storm here in Missouri. I don't know how your weather is right now, but I hope that you're not. Well, I know it's been snowing, I think, in New York and where I was born and raised. So crazy weather. Like yesterday it was 80 degrees here in Missouri, and tonight it's going to be like 29 degrees. I mean, it's just been bizarre. But anyway, that's how it is. And so, hey, I appreciate you guys watching. I hope we've caught most of the comments today. If you didn't see all of the show today, Chris edits the show, and then we put it on our YouTube channel, which is still the Chat Nook. And so we hope you go and like and subscribe. Please keep liking and subscribing us, because I said, here's the thing that I want. Here's the thing that I want. I want to have the biggest discussions in the country. I just want to get on here every day, and just every Sunday at 2 o'clock, and I just want to have a huge chat with as many people as we can get on and talk about whatever we want to talk about, because this is the Chat Nook. We can talk about whatever you want. Teresa, thank you so much, sending all your love and hugs to Mom and all of you. Thank you for the prayers. We love you very much. Hey, we love all you guys. Thanks for tuning into the Chat Nook today. I'm Christine Deaton, and we'll see you next Sunday at 2 o'clock. Have a great day. Bye-bye, everybody. See you next.
Hop on the Chat Nook, choo-choo. Hop on the Chat Nook, choo. On the Chat Nook, choo-choo. Hop on the Chat. Hop on the Chat Nook, choo-choo. Hop on the Chat Nook, hop on the Chat Nook, choo-choo. Hop on the Chat Nook, choo. Hop on the Chat Nook, choo-choo. Hop on the Chat. Hop on the Chat.